that gay adoption was unacceptable was the lack of two different sexes.
Yeah.
So if that's the rationale for gay adoption being wrong, that same rationale, that same assumption applies to a single parent regardless of their sexual orientation.
Okay, well then, furthermore, I believe that if that child's straight, it would be better for them to be with a single straight parent than it would be for them to be with a gay parent.
What if they don't know until they're like 17?
Okay, you're talking about a child that doesn't know.
Yeah.
The
Most
example
of
that I
them
gave.
don't.
We have to talk about everybody. It doesn't matter if they know or they don't know.
I don't want to get that.
The majority of people define their sexual orientation between the age of 15.
Wait, I need to hear this.
Hold on.
Barely repeat yourself.
The majority of people define and identify and become certain of their sexual orientation sometime between age 15 and 24.
It's fluid.
Yes.
Sexuality is fluid.
No, I would have said, no, I said, like I said, I didn't know until I was 25, but I said for scientifically, the majority of people determine and develop their sexual orientation between the age of 15 and 24.
I found
But
out
I
when I was
thought gays
15.
were, I thought people that were gay were
Is it?
born that way. So that
But
doesn't make
because
sense.
they're born into a
Straight
straight residential world,
A straight
you
institution.
are automatically like when you're born, you're like, okay, I'm a girl, I'm supposed to like guys. So you kind of go towards that, but you're like, this isn't right. This is not like a right vibe here. But what's wrong with me?
I have an explanation for that. So I've been gay my whole life. I thought younger that it was, I didn't know because no one told me that it was okay to have feelings for girls. I didn't know that because it's not, I'm not gonna go talk to people because I thought it was completely normal. Until I started like involving into people and like a lot of my friends that were gay talk to me about it and they're like, that's not what straight people do. You're not straight. Laura did that for me. And I realized that I'm not because I've never had feelings for a guy in my life and I thought that was normal too. I've never been attracted to men and I've never had feelings for a guy. So I've always known when I was younger and that had nothing to influence into my parents. It had nothing to influence in my mom or dad. You know, my parents are divorced. I've been raised by my mom my whole life and half my younger life my mom and half my older life with my dad. It's like completely, they both love me and it doesn't matter. Like,
Getting back onto the topic of gay adoption, it's the fact that we're trying to adopt these children into loving households.
Yeah, it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter if they're gay, straight, bisexual, anything, or transgender. These children just want someone to care for them, to love them.
It doesn't have to be a traditional family structure.
Yes.
Well, I was just gonna make my statement about the whole, like, about people knowing if they're gay or not, affecting children and everything like that. The best way to describe it for coming from a gay person, the best way to describe your, like, being gay in society, but a society that only supports, straight sexuality, I didn't come out, I didn't come to the realization that I was gay. I didn't choose to be gay. I came to the realization that I was gay when I was 15 years old, my freshman year in high school. But before that, prior to growing up, I experimented, dated women because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. But there's this thing where you're following the norm that the society wants you to be, but you feel there's always something different about you from everybody else. You always have that feeling inside you that you're different from everybody else. That's how I felt growing up. And then 15 years old, when I came out and realized I was gay, it wasn't a choice. That's what was always different about me from everybody else. It came natural after that.
that's what you were. And
I'm
you
gay.
felt right about
And
it.
it had no influence on anybody. No, and my like I said, I had straight parents. I didn't have any
Like pretty much
influences.
everything was against you.
Everything was against me. I
Right,
always
right,
felt
right,
something was
right.
different about me from the way everything else that I was surrounded with. So it really does not make a difference, Chris. Gay parents or straight parents, it doesn't matter. I was surrounded. I was bombarded by heterosexuality.
Yeah.
And it repressed me, and it represses a lot of gay people because that's the whole, that's why a lot of people are afraid to come out. Is because they will be a target.
I feel like maybe they won't get beat up, but
It won't be accepted.
People
It's
still
still that
like
isolation.
think stuff about you, yeah, you won't fit in.
That's,
If you don't have,
Everybody wants to
and that's all I
be-
gotta say, if you don't have support, the worst thing is having an institution against you, but if you don't have the family support, or you don't have this openness, if you don't have open conversations like this is why gay
We're
people
here.
never come out. This is why gay people never come out,
This
because
is
they're
why we're
scared.
here.
I know that's what I'm saying, but I'm saying that this is why people don't come out. This is why people until the age of like 45, 50 years old say, oh, I'm gay, you know, because it takes people that long sometimes to come out, because that's what they have to go through. So with the whole adoption thing, it really doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter what family structure you grow up in. The society is always against you, and that's why we need to change this untraditional versus traditional status, because if we changed it, if we didn't let it matter, the institution wouldn't be homophobic, and we wouldn't have this issue of like, oh, well, coming out is such a big deal. And it wouldn't matter if gay kids came from straight parents, or if gay kids came from gay parents, or vice versa. It wouldn't matter.
Do you have another question? All I want to say about the topic is that with gay adoption, I came out when I was 13. I was in an 8-year relationship, and I was dead set that my partner and I were going to adopt. And the things that we were concerned about the most was how the child was going to be raised, how they would feel about having two females raising them, how they would feel with society looking upon them with two females. And I think the biggest issue that needs to be addressed is not that, oh, you're gay, so you can't have a child, you can't adopt a child. It's being able to have the resources, being able to be prepared to have, because there is going to be that awkwardness, that discrimination that the child is going to receive from having two same-sex parents. But it's how, it all boils down to love and acceptance and being able to handle the situation and being able to help your child overcome what may come to them for being with having two females or two males, being
That's
their
a
parents.
society thing too.
Yeah.
Very well. Okay, I want to go below 8 now. Let's say they're below 8, infant, baby, newborn. I'm really going to try to speak in a way that's respectful, because it's very hard for me. This is very touchy for me.
Okay.
Think about my own little baby. So, let's say, what is the reason why I can't speak for everyone, what is the majority of the reason why, let's say, two people come together and they want to have children? What is the reason behind it? What's the root? Why do people want to have children?
Because society says that
That's the
Yes.
root?
Yes.
reproduce
The root.
their
the
offspring
root is
to
to
love someone that
reproduce
is
the
repelled.
If, we'll go
Closer,
back.
we're getting closer.
No, we'll go to Adam and
Listen.
Eve. We'll go back to your little book. Adam and Eve were told that they have to propagate the world. That was their main.
As far as gay adoption, 8 and below, a child 8 years or younger than 8. I think we have to really, we have to ask this question in order to answer that question, whether or not gay adoption for infants and young children can be adopted. And that is, what is the reason why the majority, like I said, I can't speak for all parents, what is the majority of the reason why parents want to have children?
They want to have like a legacy. Really.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
They want to see their children through them. They want to see themselves
Themselves
through their
through
children.
Yeah.
Well,
it
Chris,
relates.
you're gonna base what you're gonna say off of your answer, so just say it.
Well, I want to know what other people think.
I don't know, but I think having kids is selfish, actually, so I won't speak about it. No,
Well, I can't speak for all, but I think, go ahead, Matt, what do you think? What do you think? My reason is-